My name is Omar Fateh. I'm the state senator for District 62 in South Minneapolis. I was born in Washington, D.C. and raised in Virginia. And on the campaign trail and along with my colleagues, I've been telling them that I'm growing up in an immigrant household, but within the American culture, which is a melting pot of ideas, thoughts, religions, and so on. I think I was best to bridge the gap between the new immigrants as well as the folks that have been here.
I, Omar Fateh, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States.
I'm blessed to represent a very diverse district in South Minneapolis. It's a lot of working class folks. These are folks that have been really hit really hard this past year with the George Floyd murder, the uprising that followed, but as well as COVID-19, which impacted all of us. I regularly go to Lake Street, which are mostly Latino-owned businesses, and I've made that connection with them to help them understand what resources are out there in COVID and in general. I've built a relationship with folks in Little Earth to understand indigenous issues, but also what they want to prioritize in the upcoming sessions. When we speak to them, we make sure that we understand that they're not a monolith, right? So if you go into Little Earth, you don't assume that everybody has the same idea or thought process. That's just not how it is. So I was fortunate enough to form committees within these different communities so that they can help educate me, but also I take their ideas back to the legislature with me to turn it into action and into bills. So a lot of the bills that we come up with are actually constituent run and ideas that we brought with us in these meetings.
So we're here at Carmel Mall, located in South Minneapolis. There are two Somali malls here in South Minneapolis, both in my district. This is one of the areas that was hit hardest by COVID-19. For the first few months during the pandemic, people really struggled. We had businesses here shut down, but they rebounded. They came back. We had the customers continue to come and support these locally owned, immigrant-owned businesses, and they continue to thrive. So they've really bounced back from COVID-19.
We have a lot of business owners that are immigrant-owned businesses, specifically within the daycares, child daycares and adult daycares, home care owners, group home owners, and folks that have struggled with the administrative side of the Department of Human Services. One of the things I try to do is bridge the gap between the immigrant community, but also the government, the commissioners, assistant commissioners. I've had meetings with the departments as well as the business owners so that they can fully understand any policy changes that are coming up. For example, if they've had any issues with their businesses, they can better understand how to function and organize, but also bringing the businesses together so that they get to know one another as well, so that when they're interacting with government, they're united as one voice rather than individual businesses, and that has proven to be successful.
This is George Floyd Square. It is a memorial, a remembrance for George Floyd and the murder that occurred a little over a year ago now. Folks are coming from all over to come pay their respects, look at the memorial, but also come to these black businesses that are over here, the coffee shops, the restaurants, the tea bars. We've seen a massive increase in crime following the murder of George Floyd. And we've seen people attribute that to maybe having less officers or we need more police, when that's not the case. We have to remember that because of COVID, a lot of people lost work. A lot of people went on unemployment. A lot of people were struggling to pay rent. And then couple that with the murder of George Floyd, which was a national murder. People saw an innocent black man getting tortured to death for 9 minutes. People took to the streets. They were really upset.
I represent the district in which George Floyd was murdered, and the uprising that followed really hurt a lot of folks, both the protesters but also business owners. I'm hoping to continue the good work that our office as well as our colleagues have done here. So making sure that we prioritize public safety, making sure that we're investing in affordable housing and public housing so that we're not pricing out our residents and we're preserving our diversity, and making sure that we have a single-payer healthcare system that's not tied to employment so that we make sure that healthcare is fundamentally a human right.